Hello again, Serious Coasters, and I'm going to be doing a tier list of roller coasters that I have ridden. Now, not all of them on here have I rid. As you can see right here, there is a haven't rid section. That is because there are some rides at certain parks I have not ridden, but at those parks I have ridden other ones. You'll see in a second. So, starting off, you have Goliath at Six Flags Over Georgia. Now, I've done a review on this ride before, and obviously, it's a great roller coaster, but it isn't best of the best. So, I'm going to have to start this off at immaculate, honestly. It's a great ride, probably the best ride at Six Flags Over Georgia, but some of these rides at some other parks are more, I guess, exciting, and there's more to it than Goliath. Daredevil Dive, here's another one I really liked at Six Flags Over Georgia, but just wasn't up there like Goliath was. Nothing is going to really go over Goliath in this Six Flags Over Georgia section. So this one's going to have to go with Pretty Nice right below it. Now, Great American Scream Machine. This one was fun, I'm a fan of, rough roller coasters. They don't bother me as much. I mean, maybe if I rid it to an extent, then I would have a problem, but really, no. Other than that, it's not the greatest. Airtime is lackluster, and, just from the excessive amount of roughness. I mean, I bit my tongue on this ride. That was just one of the main things I remember. Other than that, I mean, there's not too much problems with it. It's just kind of lackluster with the excitement, and then there are just other faults to it. So I'm gonna put it at meh. Now here we have 4 roller coasters that I have not ridden at Six Flags Over Georgia. There's Joker Funhouse Coaster that I have not ridden. It's a kiddie coaster. Whenever I visited, wasn't able to get a chance to ride it. Riddler Mindbender. It was getting some work done to it at the time that I went, so I wasn't able to ride it, unfortunately. I don't think it would have placed too high on this list, but like I said, haven't rid. Georgia Scorcher, a stand-up B&M coaster. Now, I've never ridden a stand-up coaster, not until recently. Completely different than this one. You'll see in a second. Well, I think it's the last coaster on this list that I'm referencing. But Georgia Scorcher, another roller coaster I almost rid, but it closed right before I was able to hop on it. Would have been a cool experience, ride a stand-up coaster. But from what other people have said, stand-up coasters are kind of butt, and this one they say is, the better of the bunch, but again, haven't rid. Now, Dahlonega Mine Coaster looks butt, in my opinion. Haven't rid. Batman the Ride, a very nice addition to Six Flags Over Georgia. It's been there for a while. Again, the only Batman clone I've ridden. A lot of people say it's great, and compared to the other Batmans, like one of the best Batman ride, since this is a clone. But from my experience, it was pretty cool. Nothing too extraordinary about it. Same goes with Superman Ultimate Flight. It's a flying coaster. Like another one that comes up on the list, it doesn't compare to it as much. It's kind of lackluster compared to it, but it's honestly a nice ride. There's nothing too bad about it. So I'm gonna have to put it at pretty nice. And then you have Blue Hawk. This one didn't have much to it. I mean, it was rough. I hit my head multiple times on the restraints. They're not the best. It's, your average, silly, old roller coaster. It's meh. Now, Twisted Cyclone. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but RMC hybrid iBox coasters, I love. I absolutely adore. And this is just one of them that I just, I've ridden, I believe 3, including this one. And this one is just definitely the worst out of the bunch. It's not bad in any way, but it competes with Goliath for best ride at the park. But again, it's just not too much great about it. But that overbank turn, that is probably the most outstanding part about it. Very great. But other than that, it's pretty nice. It's definitely enjoyable. Wild Adventures. Now, this isn't obviously a roller coaster. This is a park in Valdosta, Georgia, that I've yet to visit. So, I mean, I was going to put all the rides here, but I just figured that'd be a waste of time. So I'm just going to put the roller coasters at Wild Adventures. You can look up on your own, whatever. I haven't rid. Now this, you're probably wondering what this is. This is a mountain coaster, and it is at Helen, Georgia. You know, a little German kind of town thing. It's really cool, honestly. And I was able to ride it for myself, and honestly, it was such a cool experience. Like, it's so weird. You only go like I think 25 miles per hour, but man, it feels like you're going at least 50 on that thing. It is really fun. And obviously, like, it's not going to be something like comparable to Iron Gwazi. I mean, you get some sharp, snappy movements on here, and honestly, that's enough. And even with the speed, it's a really great ride. And you get to control your own speed. Sorry, I burped there. You get to control your own speed, so that's a plus. I mean, I usually just book it the whole time, but yeah, I've ridden this a few times. I would have to put it at pretty nice, you know? I honestly really like it. Now, Hurricane. This is a new, probably the newest ride I've ridden. I'm sorry, take that back. There was another one I just rid recently. But Hurricane at Fun Spot Atlanta. Um, it was fun, honestly. Like, it was just, yes, it was painful, but there was just something about it. It's like a very just snappy wild mouse, but also at the same time, the drop, like just the I don't even know, like 30 feet drops, probably a little bit taller than that. I don't know what about it. It's just, it gives me butterflies. I mean, it hurt at some parts, so yes, it was painful. Nah, I'm gonna put in painful. I mean, it's nothing compared to these, but still, it was a very nice ride, so don't underestimate it. It is still very different, but definitely not worth your time if you're here in Fun Spot Atlanta. One, there is Airy Force 1. Oh my gosh, for a Fun Spot park. Now, I've been to Fun Spot Orlando, not Kissimmee, but oh my goodness, for, you know, a park as cheap as Fun Spot, and, you know, just the whole environment of it, like, this roller coaster was absolutely incredible. It reaches above, you know, Goliath. This ride was honestly one of the best I've ever ridden. This is a goated ride. Freedom Flyer, you know, all right, ride. I think it's a Vekoma. Shoot, 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 shoot. Suspended. Vekoma suspended coaster, I believe. Don't take me 100% on that. It's fun. It's there. But I can skip on it. It's nothing too much. White Lightning, though. Honestly, like, this is one of the only wooden roller coasters I've ever ridden because there's not many in Florida, honestly. There's this and Mind Blower, which I'll get to in a second. But, I mean, man, I come to appreciate wooden coasters a lot more after that because they're really great. You know, I never thought too much of them. There was Gwazi when I was really young, but never got a chance to ride it. I mean, I was too scared at the time. But, man, like White Lightning, very good. Now you have Power Trip. Power Trip at Fun Spot Kissimmee. Now, unfortunately, I've never been to Fun Spot Kissimmee, so I'm not able to rank either of Power Trip or Mind Blower. Now, Mind Blower did go over, you know, some construction. It got some new track replaced with steel and by RMC. And honestly, I'm really excited, you know, check it out after that. Now we have Universal, you know, a very big, you know, theme park industry. You have the Incredible Hulk coaster, one of two B&M sit-down coasters, other at Busch Gardens, Tampa. And this one is great. I mean, the launch out of, you know, that tube, you know, the theming to it, the environment, the just everything about it. Now, obviously, it's a little bit more rough, but it is a really nice ride. Definitely rideable. I loved it. Pretty nice. Rip Ride Rocket, same thing here. Now, there are moments on this ride which are kind of lackluster, and I wish it weren't that way. This ride could totally use, honestly, a re-theming, because it's not the most themed ride. I mean, for a Universal ride, a retrack would be amazing. But really, there's some elements on here, like the non-inverting loop that I love, and just the whole music aspect, that makes it up for me. Like, honestly, like, I'm a very big music guy, and I love it. So, definitely a pretty nice ride. Woody's Woodpecker Roller Coaster. Kiddie Coaster, it's alright. Probably won't ride it again. Don't really need to. It's a meh. Velocicoaster. Oh my gosh. In May of this year, 2024, I will be able to hop on this spectacular ride whenever that chance comes, and I am so excited. I promise you, I will definitely place it on this rank list probably whenever I get to ride it. But for now, I have yet to ride it, and for the most misfortunate reasons. I couldn't ride it because COVID just, it came at the wrong time when I had passes, and just it was gone. I couldn't do it. I had passes while I was under construction. Probably would have ridden it as soon as it opened because passes went on through that time. But no, just it couldn't work out. Hagrid's Magical Creature Motorbike Adventure, while one of the longest roller coasters, also has the longest name. I'm just gonna call it Hagrid's. I mean, despite the name being way too long, it's goated. It is amazing. Yes, I don't believe it's the most expensive roller coaster now. Correct me if I'm wrong. I forget if it's Guardians or this, but I know this ride had the title, and ride it and you'll understand exactly why. It is amazing, not just for the theming, but even the experience entirely. It is a great ride, even for a family coaster. Flight of the Hippogriff, I mean, it's another kiddie coaster. It's all right. I'll probably skip on it one day. Revenge of the Mummy, probably the best ride at Universal Studios because it is honestly amazing. It is so themed. It is just every little thing about it is just amazing, and I love it. I forget the immaculate category exists. I'm rethinking about putting the Hulk in that category now, which I believe I am because I just completely forgot about it. But yes, both of those rides are immaculate, including the Mummy, which just theming, experience, yes, and even after its retrack and everything it went through, which is a plus. Don't get me wrong, it's a plus. It is amazing. Escape from Gringotts, another indoor roller coaster, and honestly, I mean, theming is amazing. Ride experience, it's not the most intense. There's definitely better theming in some other rides. I mean, this one's greatly themed, don't get me wrong. It's just like other rides just out there. Yeah, I'm going to have to put it at pretty nice. It's very good. But obviously not up at the top with these guys. Now, Legoland. I've been there once for a birthday. And, again, very young. Didn't really ride anything because I was a little scaredy cat. So, unfortunately, I was able to ride one ride there, but none of these. I attempted to ride all of them, but just we weren't able to get to all of them. There's the Dragon, the Super Lego Race, whatever it was called, but Flight School, I believe it was called, a ride I rode. I mean, at the time, this thing was awesome. I mean, I wanted to ride it again and again, but I mean, it's another Vekoma suspender, and they're all right, you know. Coastersaurus, again, haven't rid. And then you have Peppa Pig roller coaster. I don't know if that's the name of it, but it's just Peppa Pig roller coaster. Sadly enough, I have not ridden it. Alright, now you have Cheetah Hunt. Cheetah Hunt, this is the start of the roller coasters at Busch Gardens. It's amazing. I love Cheetah Hunt. All roller coasters at Busch Gardens I have a sweet spot for because I have grown up with most of these rides, and like Cheetah Hunt was one of the first I've ever ridden. Hated it at first, a little scared, a little petite little boy who was afraid of roller coasters. Now loves them, whatever. After riding it multiple times, it is a pretty nice ride. Would put it immaculate, but realistically, there are the better rides out there. For example, SheiKra. The only dive coaster I've ever ridden, and for that, I mean, who knows, maybe riding more would change its place in the tier list, but right now, it is definitely an immaculate ride. I love it, and obviously not top 3 for me at Busch Gardens, but somewhere up there, Kumba, oh, I love Kumba. The G-forces to this ride, the whole environment, and even just literally Kumba meaning roar, just the roar and just the impact of this ride that it gives. It is a great ride. Don't recommend to ride it multiple times. It gives you a freaking headache that'll just last forever. It's a pretty nice ride. I love it. Tigress, man, I loved this ride when it first opened. But the last time I rode it, or second to last time, whenever it was, I probably had one of the most painful roller coaster experiences I've ever faced. Even like the latest time I rode it, it wasn't even that bad. It was just that one time. I was with two of my other friends, and man, it sucked. Like, we wanted to go home right after that, and I think we rode one other thing. We left because of this monster. I mean, it's calmed down a bit. The tiger's settled a bit, the kitty. I'm gonna have to put it at pretty nice. You know, it's there. It's fun. I changed my mind, meh. Because if you're going to Busch Gardens, don't go there for tigers. Go there for something like Montu, which is the second best ride there. Um, Montu, inverted B&M coaster, and it is amazing. I mean, haven't ridden any other B&M inverts besides the Batman, and it is amazing. I love it. Compared to the Batman, it's nowhere near as, I say bad. The Batman isn't bad, but they're so different. Sorry, burped again. I'm definitely have to put it at Immaculate. I love Kumba. Scorpion, another one of those rides where it's just kind of, rough. It's fun for, one time, but don't go to Busch Gardens for it. It's nothing too much. Cobra's Curse. Man, anytime I go with, my family, Cobra's Curse is honestly, wouldn't be as high. It would probably be in the meh section because you don't go to Busch Gardens for this. But if you're a family person, likes to do things with the family, wants to have a good time while also, spending that time with family, Cobra's Curse is a great ride. Yeah, definitely recommend it. Honestly, it's just a pretty nice ride in general. Nothing really is bad about this ride, just for the fact that it's a family coaster. And obviously, you're not going to get the thrills that most people would want out of a ride. Air Grover. This is not the OG kiddie coaster. I'm going to have to put it at meh. It is not the OG. I don't care. Air Grover is nice. Cool. Whatever. But it's a kiddie coaster. Do I really need an explanation? Do I really need an explanation? I'm sorry. I get to move it up. I'm going to move it up the goated category. It's not even going to be the third spot. It's just going to be the center of attention. It's going to be the first one. I don't care. Anyways, Iron Gwazi, goated. Will always be goated. Oh my gosh. Anyways, now we get to Disney World. Okay, guys, this is gonna suck. I've been to Disney like twice. One for like my 3rd birthday. I got in for free because I pretended I was 2. Anyways, didn't get to ride anything really then, roller coaster wise. And then for my sister's birthday, I got to ride one ride, but most of them still scared to ride. And it was only at Magic Kingdom, so things like Rock and Roller Coaster, which is at Hollywood, haven't rid. And then just other rides throughout the parks just haven't rid. So you have frickin' Space Mountain, Everest, Expedition Everest. Then you have the goofy Mind Bender, Mind Blaster, Mind Blower. No. It's this. Anyways, Kiddie Coaster, but haven't rid. Slinky Dog Dash, haven't rid. Looks pretty fun, but haven't rid. Oh my gosh, this is like the one Disney ride I genuinely want to ride so badly. I want to put this at like Immaculate because of just reviews and just how it looks, but no, it's haven't rid. Here's a quick POV of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Boom shakalaka, there you go. Also, thanks to WDW Magic for that silly little POV. I don't know really what this ride is. I never knew it existed. I haven't read. Shoot, what is this called? It's the frickin' Thunder Mountain. Yeah, haven't ridden. Tron Light Cycle, whatever. Haven't read. Took forever to build. And 7 dwarfs. Oh, pretty nice. The only ride I read whenever I went with my sister. Yeah. Then you have Icebreaker, which Icebreaker, I think is one of 2 roller coasters I have not ridden at SeaWorld. It was new. I went literally, this is the park I went to just recently, and I was about to get on it, but they closed down all the rides for fireworks. Anyways, Manta rode it a few years back, and it was amazing. I loved it. It's obviously not best of the best, but it is very, very good. Better than Superman Ultimate Flight. So I'm gonna have to put it at immaculate. It belongs in the category. It deserves it. Shamu. Yes, technically today it's like Grover's Boxcar Derby or whatever, but it's Shamu. I mean, it truly is. That is its name. That is the OG name, what it originally was. Then they changed it to Sesame Street. This roller coaster was the first one I ever rode. Shamu is pretty nice. Mako, Mako, Mako. Rode it again for the second time. I rode it twice when I was there. And man, it really is amazing. And no, I'm not putting it at pretty nice. I need to scroll up. It deserves to be goated. This is a goated ride. Kraken, just another Kumba, but without floors. It's a floorless coaster. At SeaWorld. So it has to go at pretty nice. It's fun. It's there. And boom, I'd ride it again. Yeah. Journey to Atlantis. Surprisingly enough, when I've been riding all these roller coasters, I just never felt Journey to Atlantis. But then we got rid of the SeaWorld passes and whatnot. We moved, just a whole bunch of stuff. So never really got to ride it. Even when I just went. I mean, it was cold, no one wanted to ride it. Long ride, wasn't worth the time. I never rode it. Sucks as it is, but just haven't ridden it. It goes down there. Now, oh my gosh, this was the other stand-up coaster I was talking about. And man, I don't think I've been as blown away or surprised by a coaster like than this. Maybe Iron Gwazi, because Iron Gwazi is just something on another level. Like, it is. RMC iBoxes are unlike anything out there. I mean, besides Twisted Cyclone, that didn't really blow me away as much. But man, like Iron Gwazi, I'm still glazing over Iron Gwazi. Even though I've gotten past that. Pipeline. Wow. I mean, I rode it back row first time, and man, I've never gotten that many butterflies on a ride in a long time. Even Fear, like, I've never contemplating riding something in forever, and man, I was contemplating what I hopped on at the time, and I was actually struck. I did not know what I was riding. Now, I mean, it might seem like this is like, oh, I'm just about to put in goated. It's just of how weird of a ride it is. Like, honestly, rethinking it, it might be a goated ride. I mean, just from these roller coasters that are in Florida and Georgia, you know, out of the ones I've ridden, it is a goated ride. I mean, I'm just still thinking about it and how much it surprised me. I've never ridden anything like it before, and just that feeling itself, no other roller coaster has given me that. You know, this might not be a goated ride for most people, but to me, it definitely is. I mean, I was thinking about putting it in an immaculate, you know, a reasonable spot that most people would go with, but I have to put it where I think, and it belongs in goated. It is a goated ride. Now, goated right up here looks very empty without Velocicoaster. It's most definitely going to go up there when I ride it. We will see. But there you go. Here is my basically ranking of roller coasters that I have somewhat ridden, besides these ones down here at just the parks I haven't ridden. You know, Georgia, Six Flags, Universal, blah, 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 Legoland, whatever. Disney and whatnot. But out of roller coasters I've ridden, here's my tier list. That's basically all I wanted to do today. Wanted to post something, you know, since I haven't done that in a while. Been kind of lazy about it, just kind of lacking at it. But I don't know. I'll see what I can do. And yeah, hope it was somewhat enjoyable. And yeah, see you guys later.